Hello everyone. Thank you so much for coming to this what I call as a watercolor artist practice. And what I do to practice, and I will, because I wanted to, show you and encourage you to practice a lot, especially when the times when you say, oh, today I'm not like really want to do a painting. And I also, a lot of you have asked about paintbrush, and of course, I've been here for a few years, and on here I mean YouTube, and recently I have moved all the line drawing. There won't be a line drawing for this one because I'll explain when you're going through the video, because I want you guys to practice using this as a drawing instrument instead of only painting. Practice to draw with it, right? And so um, uh, with with our with our painting, then you can get used to a lot of things. And you guys have been asking me the journey of as we go. I changed the line drawing to the to Etsy, and I told you that in every line drawing that I sell you, I might make 30 cents, 40 cents. I don't really know because Etsy charge, but Etsy is reliable. And so I don't have a blog anymore, so my line drawing are over there. And so I'm very happy because I wouldn't lost connection if you guys during a thunderstorm in Florida, like what happened last time. And I'm sorry about my voice. It's just something to do with cancer treatment, radiation, and afterwards it does kind of make you coarser, faster, and so it's okay. I still love it. I still miss you guys, and I want to do this a lot. And so and also we're going through some gold color today. Okay, so sorry, I missed my thought. Okay, as we're going, then of course we get stuff and get supply, right? A lot of you had asked me different level of question. Kathy, what brushes you use? What paper you use. Okay, paper I didn't stop. I don't use arches like most artists do, because they sometimes they use a tough brush like this and they scrub off things, right? I am Chinese kind of learning. We practice, and so when the brush go down, then it goes down. We might use some water, use a soft brush to kind of clean out the edge, but we hardly need to scrub anything off. And so I don't need arches. I use Stonehenge because it's whiter. The price is also reasonable, but it works really, really well. And when you take pictures of your art and you scan them, also there's not a lot of bumps as arches tends to do, and you have to go in digitally to clean it up. But anyway, so I use the Stonehenge. Stonehenge, you can get it from Blick Art Supply. One day I will, when I have time, I will try to become an affiliate with them so I can put a link. But you guys can go online, go to Blick Art Supply and try to get the Stonehenge paper if you would like. I just love it. It takes some correction. Some of the other paper, it doesn't, like, I mean, the one that is cheaper, it doesn't take, if you do 2-3 layers, then it start, the paper surface start coming off, and that never happened to me with Stonehenge. Okay, and so you also asked me, Oriental Art Supply, OAS. I used to be affiliated, but I don't have a blog, so I don't post this stuff. I don't post their link, but you can go get this one, the happy dot there. But you can also get it from Amazon. The price is about the same, I think, but some of you say that, wow, they charge a lot of shipping. Well, they're a smaller company, so they have to, and Amazon, if you have Amazon Prime, then you don't have to worry about. So I have gotten some other brushes. There's fine line, there's big brushes and medium brushes, and so today we're going to go through that. And so hopefully this will be a more updated of what the brushes that I use. I will have link, except the Rosemary and Co one. I got this from England. and I pay a hefty price of shipping, but I wanted to try. It's a Kolinsky sable. I have a few Kolinsky sable brush around here. Oh, yeah, and is that my sable? Nope, that's not. Okay, but I have a few Kolinsky sable, and it's the Jack Richardson, right? This one is, I had it a long time ago, like 20-some years ago, and I'm still using it, but then so are some of these brushes that I have, are also over 20 years, okay? So, head to head, they're really good, and, you guys will see how I abuse this one. Not really abuse, but, it's twisted, and I still use it because through practicing, I get to be comfortable, when things are flare out, I just keep going because I'm a very focused person when I am painting. And so that's what we did. Okay, so you will see all these and you will have the link, and it will be fun because most of these, except the rosemary and code, and I'll tell you if you should get it or not, this one is very expensive, and these are all about $3 each, okay? And you trust me or you don't trust me, okay? But it's just great brushes, and I'm not paid by them at all. And this is we're going to do some gold color, okay, just for fun. And I got this little tin of gold color, and we're gonna and have fun. And I will show you this ahead of time. We have some of these that I didn't paint this with you guys because this is a swatch, okay? And then we did this together. No, I did the black at all the time, and then we put the Mozart color on it, and I think they are beautiful. I don't know if you can see that. If you can't see that too well, then you might need to just get it. And so we practice all these leaves, and I also explained to you why I like to do leaves. And then I have and I put most of them, the color, but I also show you how I mix color most of the time on the paper. Even orange color, I use the cadmium yellow, and the cadmium is not burnt sienna, it's also cadmium red medium, and then I let them mix. Of course, I have an orange color, but this color is Perion, is that how you say it? Perinon orange, okay? I use that on occasion by itself, but I like the complexity of this when you mix it on the paper. Even though it's not totally a flat orange, but it is, with the eye you can see orange. And I mix color over here and over there so that we can have fun together. And so we also did this, I show you this and I didn't mention it. We also did this sunflower because I told you that I draw this in front of you. I wanted you guys to see I practice like this too. I will draw a flower, sunflower, whatever, that float my boat at the minute. And then, I'll see how I layer color and pile on the color together. And I did tell you that, but we didn't have time, that you can actually put some burnt umber here when this is all dry. And it is now, you can put a little bit of burnt umber there. But I also explain a little bit about the importance of background and how sometimes I don't, but most of the time I do, use the background, and then we will have all kinds of discussion, okay? And so I think that's all the explanation I have. This is my standby happy dot, and use it for so many years. I actually got a new one, but I have an old one, and sometimes when I put them side by side, I cannot tell the difference with the old one and the new one. And so that's how good these brushes are. I since have bought these, we call it the red brush because it's red with brown, right? The red brush, I since have got another set of 4. So I'll have the link. I hope you guys can get these. These are very good. And if you have fun, invest $3, $4, $3, or maybe $2 something, and have a lot of fun. Okay, I should stop, and let's get practicing and have fun. Okay, I have a lot of I'm drawing, and if you have Instagram and follow me over there, you can see some of the things. Sometimes I post when I am drawing, and so I'm drawing for my daughter. Let's see if I have the drawing here, or actually I probably went and go scan it, so I don't have the drawing here, but I do like to draw. And I'm helping her. Her new book is coming out, and in October, I think, and I do the illustration, but it's just line drawing, and it might be a little bit of a detailed line drawing, not the one that you get from Etsy, because those are the one that just get you started. And so I'll give you more information because I want you guys to help her out, a new writer. And her books are really beautifully written, and so I love it. And anyway, but if you want to see some of my drawing illustration, is in her book too. And anyway, I would need to stop here, and then we'll get going with this painting practice. Okay, love you all. Thank you for being here. Okay, let's talk about the stars of the show. Okay, and this is what we are going to be very excited about, because they're precious, and they're the one, I think I had a video long time ago, right? And so now let's go into it, because I probably talk about that in the intro. And so this one, okay, let's get something I can point to. Okay, this one right here is the one that is the very nice one that I got Gagado. I don't, I'll leave a link, of course, but this one is very fine points, but it has some kind of a belly. And these are the one, okay, if you know that, if I tell you, I bought 3 sets of this, right? When I really, really like this, I will do that. But we're just gonna, have to, because there's no names to them, and I don't want to like give them a name like Mary or Susan or something like that. So we're just gonna talk about the very long, narrow one. Okay, now these are also very fine points. I like fine points. And so there's, we'll call this the one with the red and the black tip, okay? But now it's wet, it actually looks like brown. And this is our good old standby that we absolutely love. Is the one that you can, I will leave a link, the Happy Dot. You can get it from Oriental Art Supply and also Amazon, okay? And I have this for a while. I have 2 of them that's hanging around, but I'm just going to use one of them, this one today. And then this is also a new one. I get it in 3 packs, and I will show you. I will show you this one, which is the smallest. Now you compare that with the Happy Dots, and you can see that how this is very usable, right? Because it is almost double the size. Okay, I will think that, I think this will be, if this is a size 6, then I'll call that a size 8, if you care about what, the Western artist world, how they number them. But this is, we'll talk more about this. Now, this one I have in my hand, I'm going to use, if I remember to grab it while we're doing this video, it's from Rosemary & Co. Rosemary & Co. And I ordered it from England and just pay the shipping, have them ship it to me. And it's a Kolinsky Sable. Okay, very good brush, but we will, and this costs, all of these brush, each of them costs about $3. Some of them even cheaper. And this one is a lot more. I think it's probably either $30-some or maybe more. And this is a size, they call it size 8, okay? So if they call this size 8, and this is what I call it size 8, because the Oriental brush does not have a size, about the same, right? And you can see that this actually has a point. Okay, let's, so today, as I told you in the introduction, I'm sure, I usually do the video and then the introduction so that I won't forget things, right? Now, this is the Mozart palette, and it's called Komorebi Watercolor Paint Set, okay? And this is the, of course, the, the gold. And so I have it already, because this is not really fun to, do this right in front of you. So I already have them right here. Okay, copper, rose gold, bronze, yellow gold, light gold, and silver. I am very excited about the silver, and now that I have used it in my practice, I'm even more excited. And recently I got this. This is what we call the Psy. I think that's how you call it. If I butcher the name, please forgive me. CSY Gold. Okay, so the CSY Art CSY Art Gallery. And we have crystal gold, and this one, crystal gold. Okay, right here is my crystal gold, and that's A gold because I cannot read my own writing. I'm very sorry, and I throw away the package with the instruction. Rich pale gold, 24 merc gold, moon gold, and classical gold. Okay, and so if we were to compare this classical gold and the bronze of the Mozart gold are very much alike, but this has more yellow in it, and this one is like they're trying to have it as bronze, right? Yellow gold, and their rich pale gold are kind of the same. Okay, so you know what I'm saying is don't buy both of them unless, you know, I'll tell you. Okay, the reason why I get this one is I am interested in the moon gold, and so there's nothing in the other, the Mozart palette has the moon gold, but the silver, this side gold palette doesn't have it. And so, you know, if you want these two color, okay, and we'll go through some of them as we practice, right? And the crystal gold is like the light gold, okay, so that's quite similar. And the 24 karat gold here is very individual, okay. And like did I already tell you that the yellow gold and the rich pale gold are kind of the same, but then there's a copper, and in this palette there's no copper. So that's something, you know, and this is really just something that we're gonna, you know, because we want to play, right? And I wanted to get some different palettes so we can play. And then I had the black. This is nothing but the lamb black from Daniel Smith colors that I have just swatched it. So at the very end, hopefully, you know, I need to hurry, right? And tell you guys, we will put all these color, all these different gold color onto the black, and then we can have fun and look at how they work, okay? And so now we will refer to this, so I have it next to me. Now, right now, I am going to, you know, is the other purpose, you know, of this is is so that we can practice, right? Or we can practice and using the different brushes. And so, you know, since I like this very much, I went and bought, well, let's use, they come in two, and I think they're $8 or something. You will get all this link, okay? And so I'm gonna wet the brush. Okay, where is my tissue? Okay, I always have a tissue on hand, so I can, if I wanted to, I'll dry it more, okay? It's a very nice clean tissue, I'll dry it more, okay? And so we're going to go through my palette and use the color that we normally use, okay? That we use a lot. So let's go through this one first, okay? You guys all know about my little green mix that I always call my green mix that I really like to use on my. So we'll go into the indigo first, okay? So just nothing but just dip the tip of the brush, okay? Now, I do this kind of thing a lot. You know, get some more pigment. Now, you can, I'm just trying to show you what a fine point. That's the stem of the leaf, okay? Now, why am I just painting leaf? Because that's something that I like to do for many, many years, okay? And I just like to practice with it, you know, because it will give me, like, I can mix color on it. And I actually, you know, mix all kinds of color just to practice, you know, because it soothes me. And when I really just don't want to go into a painting, I just want to do some. Now I'm leaving that as a highlight, okay? So what do? I usually, you know, because it's my practice, right, of my watercolor. So I clean my brush like I always do, no more pigment, and I pull the color out, okay? As if the sun is coming down and creating a highlight right here, okay? Okay, so you can see that I'm not drawing anything out. The reason is because we're trying to get familiar with the brush, okay? And let's go to the prylene green from the prylene green color, okay? That I always talk about. And so we're gonna just do the same thing. Okay, now why am I doing this exercise? Because we're just, hopefully, if you will just go through your palette, whatever color you have, okay, you will just do the same with me. And one is you will get used to almost do not need to have a pencil. I'm dropping some more prylene green on here, okay? You're just using this so that you can get used to using the brush almost as a pencil. Then you don't need to, not always need to have a drawing in front of you. Now, why is this useful? Because, you know, sometimes when we do background, for example, let me pull something out, okay? For example, this is my Christmas, like when we do background, like we can just put a leaf right there. We don't need to draw that out, right? And when we get more and more used to this kind of thing, then we can, you know, since we do a lot of flowers, I know that you guys must like flower to like my channel, and birds and you know, nature things, you know. We can actually do people, but, you know, I don't know when we will do that, you know, some other day, okay? And then we have the cadmium yellow medium, okay? So let's pick some of that up. And so we'll practice, okay? We'll just practice. And what we're going to do is after we practice, when this had a little chance to dry, then what we're going to do is we're going to come in and then we clean the brush, okay? And then now I have too much water in my brush. I need to dab it in my paper, but that's okay. It'll dry, okay? Now, so I don't know if you can see a puddle, but you know, at this point, then we don't touch it, okay? We wait until it have a chance to dry. And now we're picking up the cadmium yellow light. And I'm going to go into, you know, burnt orange or red and magenta and all kinds of, but still using the shape leaf because this is our shape. Now you can do circle, you can do whatever you want that you enjoy while you're doing this, but I enjoy doing leaves, so I'll just do that. And then now we're going to pick up some sap green. Okay, some sap green just by itself. And then just the same thing, we're just like gonna keep practicing, okay? Because, you know, now you can see that why I just love the fine point so much, right? Because I really am using it as a drawing. Instead of a painting, is a drawing, is an instrument for drawing for me, okay? And so I have it over here in my bigger, dirtier palette, something called a green gold, okay? So I'm gonna do a green gold. Okay, you can see that there seems like there is some yellow in this gold, right? It's quite pretty, but you know, like I'm not I don't like ask you guys to mix color yourself to accomplish this. So you can actually buy this from Daniel Smith if you have a Blick art supply, or you can just yeah, you can try to mix. So what I will mix is maybe I will try some sap green with some yellow ochre, okay? Now I'm going to, we're not, this is not the reason for this. We're just going to practice doing leaf over and over again, and then we apply the gold, okay? So this is my yellow ochre. Very pretty color. Yellow ochre is quite, you know, standard. You can see, compare the color difference, right? You know, we know that there's a place for it. You know, there's many use, you know, as the years gone by that I have painted with you guys, we use yellow ochre a lot. So let's do some of it. And what we're going to do is at the end, after all this dry, we apply the gold, okay? I keep saying that. And so these are my my burnt orange. So let's do the quinacridone burnt orange, which is a color that we use on sunflower a lot and things like that. Now, look at the, oh my gosh, the color is so nice. Now, I keep using this brush, okay? I'm going to change. I'm going to change after the quinacridone burnt orange, okay? And I will actually write down the name. I'm going to turn off the video in a minute and write down the name after we're done, okay? So now I promise you I'm going to put this down, right? And then let's go to that, what we call the really thin one. Now, that one costs $6.99. They still haven't raised their price, and they have stock. And so they call it wool. So they must have shaved the sheep and get the color. Okay, so because in the description, which is not very, it's hard, you know, they call it wool. And so I'm just going to just say that, okay, it is wool. Okay, and then I'm going to use the okay, should we go into some purple color? Let's go into some purple color, okay, with this thin one. Now you can tell that with this thin one, it's still very, very sharp. And I have this blue color here. I think this is the phthalo blue, okay? So that's a very, very vibrant kind of blue color, okay? Now, because it does have a little belly here, but it's not a lot. So compared to the other one, the red one with the brown tip, then we are, you know, we're not struggling because I'm using quite a bit of water. And by doing this kind of practice, you can also get used to the water. Watercolor, once you get used to the water, it is just really, really fun. Okay, so that's the phthalo blue, and I say, is that blue enough? Okay, it's blue enough. Okay, so let's go into purple. Dioxazine purple right here. Okay. So it's a little bit hard, right, for us to get the so why I'm doing this is you can see how I am trying to, or you can see my struggle when a brush is kind of thin. So what you do is that you make smaller leaves, then you go to a smaller brush, okay, and so it still has a very, very nice fine point. Okay, now I've been using these brush for a few months and none of them, they are performing very, very well. Like I say, maybe this one, the red one, in the beginning, it might shed. You can see shedding in your water. You know, don't let that bother you because it is just as good as gold. You know, after the shedding, because now there's no more stuff floating. Okay, on my water. Okay, now let's go to this quinacridone violet. I use that a lot. Okay, I have this for years, and you see I still have a lot. Now this is the what we call the happy dot, okay, the happy dot brush. Okay, now so it's had a bigger belly, right? The belly is bigger. Now you can see that I'm trying to flatten it so that I can still get a fine point without having to, you see how fine the point now, and that is something that you can get through practice. So do this kind of exercise a lot so that, you know, you will be able to help yourself, you know, because you're not always wanting to. Now, because it is a brush with fatter belly, then you don't need to dip into the pigment over and over again. Now, clean the brush and pull the color out. Okay? And so that's the quinacridone violet. Isn't that a pretty color? Now, you know, we have some yellowish, greenish, and bluish, okay? And so now we're going to use the same brush. Let's try to fit a little bit more. Now, I won't be giving you a line drawing because we don't need to. Now, you can see that I flattened the brush, okay? And so I can get a fine point still if I use the edge of the brush, okay? That's how I do things, you know? Okay, so this is magenta, which is a color of flowers a lot, okay? So instead of looking at it as a leaf, maybe you can say, oh, she's bringing a petal of a flower. I just get them going outside and planted some aster in my pot so that I can enjoy it for a month before I have to transplant it onto the soil. Okay, so that's kind of fun. I'm, you know, so after all the treatments, you know, all my treatments are done, you know, I'm still recovering, and sometimes that's hard because the recovering process is hard, and that's okay. Now, should we, let's keep using our happy dot, okay, and you guys, I have links, right? And I'll give that all to you guys and see if you want to. I'm not, you know, they don't pay me, but I am an Amazon associate, and so, but, you know, which is pennies, right, if you order it, but that's okay. You know, use my link, though, because you can add up, but, you know, it doesn't, you know, contribute much to my buying art supply. Now, this is the cadmium red medium, okay? You can see how fine a point I can do that, okay? So you know, one of the reasons is I just want you guys to know that this kind of practice are really fun for the soul. there's no stress, you know, it's just you. I clean the brush and pull out the color, okay? Because I want it to have some red. And since we have black, but we still wanted to use some brown color, okay? And so let's use some burn, it's Daniel Smith's burn umber, okay? After I turn off the video in a minute, you see when I come back, you see all these, the name on here. This is the burn umber. I didn't pick up enough with this happy dot brush, right? So from all the other one, I just, you know, wanted you to know they're just very efficient, just beautiful, beautiful brush. I just love them. I love them. You know, and so, and I love the price. I love the price a lot. Okay, and this is the burn umber. Should we use okay, let's do mixed color. Okay, mixed color one. Now we're still using the happy dot. Okay, now as I pick up the, so what happened is as I pick up color, I actually flatten it while I'm picking up color, flatten the tip so I can have the edge. Okay, so this is still cadmium medium red. Okay, and so what I'm gonna do is right here, right now, I'm going to use the same brush and go get some cadmium yellow medium, and I'll drop it in here. Okay, so the reason why I'm doing this is because I want you guys, when you're painting, you can mix color. Mix color, just drop it in there, mix it there. And so it, you know, the paper will give you the orange color, but then it'll be so vibrant because the watercolor paper and the pigment are doing their own job, okay? They don't need us to be their boss. They become their own boss, and you can see how the orange, and this is so nice. I'm going to do an aspen with you guys, or some kind of fall color in a couple of weeks, but you know, that's going to be fun. You know, you can see how fun it is, right? And let's use some more reddish color. Okay, burnt sienna. Burnt sienna is not reddish, it's brownish, but you know, to me, it just is on the brown side, okay? So this is burnt sienna, still using the happy dot. You can see that my leaves are suddenly bigger, right? Because happy dot is a bigger brush than the other one. And so I can, okay, you can see the difference between burnt umber, good for branches, and burnt sienna. Burnt sienna is good for a lot of things. Okay, same thing. And then clean brush, pull out the color. Okay, so I, you know, wanted to, I told people that in this one, I'm going to just tell you guys, so a little bit about my progress of my cancer and the treatments and stuff. So I have done my treatments, and now I'm just recovering, and the recovery process is kind of hard, you know, painful, yes, but not too painful. Now what I'm doing is using the burnt sienna again, okay, and then I'm going to, like, more pigment on this side, okay, and now I'm going to put in a little bit of water here, a little bit of you know, of no pigment, okay, clean brush, pull the color out, and guess what I'm going to put there? I'm going to push the cadmium yellow medium and see what color we can mix up. Ah, beautiful, beautiful. And let it mix on the paper, okay? Now this you can see that it's very fall color. Okay, now these are things that I've learned through the years. I just want to share with you, okay, so that you can have fun. Okay, let's do a sap green. Sap green, and oh, then we're going back into the green. I wanted to do that. Okay, let's not do that yet. Let's use burnt sienna again. I really like to use my burnt sienna to mix stuff, okay? And I'm going to throw in the cadmium medium, the cadmium color, red color, or alizarin crimson. Let's do some alizarin crimson for this one, okay? So that we get a variety, and then you guys can actually see, you know how I like to mix color, okay? So I pull it clean, and I'm going into the alizarin crimson, and throw that in there. Need to have a little more pigment and pick up a little more pigment, okay? And now I say paper and pigment, you guys just do your own magic. Do your own magic. You don't have to worry about us, okay? And then I just clean up the area right there. Okay, I'm just looking and make sure that there's enough light because the sun just go out from the outside, and so I sometimes I tend to be a little bit worry about that. Okay, now let's go back into the quinacridone burnt orange, okay, color, okay, because we use this color a lot. Okay, so that's quinacridone burnt orange right here, okay? I should have done it over there, but you know, when you're filming, you have a lot of things in your mind. Quinacridone burnt orange, okay, very, 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 very beautiful, right? Just a wonderfully beautiful color. It's really something that I say, it's worth buying. And so, what I'm going to mix in now, I use some clean brush and pull out the color, okay? Pull out the burnt orange color, and I'm going to mix in alizarin crimson. No, let's use cadmium red, medium, okay? And then I'm putting it in here, okay? And say, hey, you guys just, wow, the quinacridone burnt orange dry really fast. Okay, now I'm gonna pull out the color, and we make another fall color, right? You know, you can see all these fall color, and they're all, you know, kind of different. And I try to remember them so that I could, you know, write them correctly when I turn the thing off and try to show you guys. Okay, now I have a turquoise color. A turquoise color is turquoise green, also from Daniel Smith. And so I'm going to, you know, get some. I'm still using this. Okay, I need to change brush, okay? After the turquoise, I'll change brush. Isn't that pretty? Beautiful turquoise color, right? It's from Daniel Smith, okay? And, you know, sometimes I don't feel very well, especially during the evening, but, you know, I practice a lot. You know, I don't, you know, really I have to, you know, do some kind of Tai Chi. I'm beginning to use Tai Chi. And then right next to it, I'm going to put the royal blue. Okay, royal blue color. Sometimes we use royal blue. Okay, royal blue and that flavor blue is kind of the same. So I'm going to put ultramarine blue next to it, next to this royal blue, and so you guys can decide for yourself if you need to. This royal blue is from Holbein. I got it from Amazon, and they have, I think I've told you guys that they have extra one, and they don't want to hold the inventory. They gave me a tube of extra tube. Okay, that's the royal blue from Holbein, okay? And then I have this ultramarine blue. I'm going to put that next to the royal blue. And I'm going to use a bigger one, the bigger one that I compare that with the happy dots, right? So now, because I have the capacity in the water here, so I could actually pick up more pigment. So my leaf might be a little bit bigger, okay? So I really wanted to, now because this brush is new, okay, so I can see that there's a hair that's coming out, but I don't really care because I think that this is a very good brush. Okay, let's just, so I actually will, you can see, right, this is like ultramarine, the difference. So you can decide if you wanted to, you know, because sometimes I can use ultramarine. I know that I haven't used that a lot. I haven't used that a lot because it's so bright and, you know, it's like something that is very jewel, right? Jewel tone. And then I will use it. Now, you can see that this brush can, as the brush progresses in size, we can make bigger painting, actually. You know, if you like to do bigger painting, I know that we've been doing small one or, you know, it really doesn't matter. If you wanted to do bigger painting now, I'm flattening the brush so I can get myself a sharp point. Okay, same ultramarine blue. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the cadmium yellow light. Cadmium yellow light. Okay, drying the brush, my towel was getting wet, so I'm going to dry it on the paper, and then I'm putting some cadmium yellow light and let the mixture on it just mix itself. Okay, I might drop it more on here so it'll mix more. Okay, we'll see what after a little while what will come out of it. Okay, and so we are going to just go along with that, and then I'm going to use up you know, this one I need a paper towel to dry more and shape, you know, so as you dry you shape your brush tip. I'm going to use Paynes gray now. Okay, a Paynes gray color. Paynes gray, we use that a lot, right? You guys know that. Now because it's harder, you can see that it's split, right? But that had nothing to do with the brush, because if you have more water in it, it won't split. Okay, so we're gonna have a kind of gray color. A Paynes gray just by itself. Now Paynes gray is such a good standard color. You know, we talk about color today. And the brush, this paper is the same. I'm using Stonehenge. I don't think you know, I'm just not, I really like paper. But I will order something so that I could same Paynes gray, okay? Same Paynes gray. Now, Paynes gray, I'm going to mix it so you can see how well Paynes gray can mix with things. I didn't pick up enough pigment, and I might have dried the brush too much. I pick up more pigment. Okay, and now I'm going to put a little bit of a clean brush, meaning a little bit of wetness or water on here. And I wanted to put in, we can put in ultramarine. Okay, let's try some ultramarine. Pick up some ultramarine and drop it in. And you can see how nice Paynes gray actually mixes with color, right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use probably the last one, okay, the Paynes gray again, and just test out our Paynes gray, right? Not test out, I actually, you know, but I have never mixed in red color because there's blue in here, okay? Even though we can't see it, but I think that there's blue color in this Paynes gray, or else it looks like that to me. Maybe there's not, but, you know, don't get mad at me if I say something wrong, because I don't study the color, you know, I just look and see how I feel, okay? So, I don't know if the red, the cadmium red medium, which is a red that I always use, okay, will do well with it. And then we're gonna drop it in and see what kind of color. Actually, red and gray do well together. Okay, now, so I'm gonna turn the video off and go put the name so that, you know, we won't be confused the second half. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and I put in all the all the names of the color. Okay, let's go forward. And so now we have, most of them are dry. We have indigo. I actually haven't been anywhere. I just put down the names and they're dry because we live in Utah. Okay, so we're going to, the one that, you know indigo is a blue color. So we're going to see how they do with some gold and the silver. Okay, so pretty much we know that with the silver, it is going to work, right? And I'm going back to this little red brush, okay? So let's put some water in here and some water in here. Let's try this yellowish gold, okay? And then you can see the effect. Okay, the silver first, okay? So we're gonna drop in the silver. You can see the silver and blue. We pretty much know that that is going to work. Okay, so that looks really good. I hope you can see it. But if you can't, then you might want to just get the palette and try it yourself, okay? But I hope that you can see that. And then we're gonna put the yellow gold right there, and try not to get the water mix up, okay, right there. Very pretty, right? So blue, the indigo color can go with either one. Now, what is the purpose of using the gold color and the silver color? Well, we're gonna do a fish really soon, and fish is the goldfish, you know, Chinese goldfish, and maybe closer to Chinese New Year, and so I know that that will be, you know, and sometimes that will be really good. You can do it on foliage too. We don't use it as much, but because we just trying to keep it more traditional color. But we're having fun today, okay? Now, prylene green, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is, because it's green color, I'm going to try this. This is the moon gold, okay? Which is the one that I was very excited. But, you know, green and gold can go good together. But let's see. This like little kind of, I think it's a true champagne color, if you ask me, but you know, okay, so let's put that on the prylene green, okay? Very nice. Okay, I'm going to actually enlarge this. I can't do that now, okay? So the prylene green with the moon gold, okay? So let's take a little bit more and put that on there. Very, very nice, okay? Now you can see that, of course, silver is going to, but let's put another kind of gold. Let's put this, you know, what do they call this? The copper, right? No, they call this the yellow gold, actually, in this Mozart. We just put the light gold over here, okay? Let's put that yellow gold. Yeah, yellow gold. They call it yellow gold. Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay, so green can go with both silver and gold, okay? Now, cadmium yellow medium that's next to them, we know that almost any kind of gold without the copper color is going to go, okay? Because it's like pure yellow. Now, you know, when we were doing this, they are very kind of wimpy, if I may call that wimpy, because that's the nature. They're mica, right? And so if I'm looking for something like a gold, like gold foliage that I want to make a card, I would actually go into, make sure I put a yellow color, okay? So let's do the yellow gold. Now the choices of what I put in is because of my practice, okay? Beautiful, right? Now the gold, you can totally cover whatever you're painting with the gold. And it will bring out the gold and it become more vibrant and not wimpy anymore, if I might call that wimpy. I hate to call things wimpy. Okay, on the other side, let's try the bronze color, okay? Let me drop some. Is that the bronze? Yeah, that's the bronze. Drop some water so it's easier for me to pick up. You know, because this everything in Utah just dry. We have to put so much water on flowers sometimes. And sometimes we conserve water. Okay, so this is what this Mozart called the bronze. Okay, bronze go very well. So if you think that these gold color are kind of wimpy, then put a layer of gold underneath it first, and then it will bring out the color really well. And you can do the same thing with the cadmium yellow light, because it is still yellow. And so it won't be that bright anymore. We'll see it right now, okay? Drop some water on here. I need to get that out, okay? So let's, the cadmium yellow light, let's do a silver color on it here. Okay, let's do the silver color on it, because I wanted you to see how silver actually works with yellow too. Yellow is just a very, very nice color. Okay, need some water. It's not moving. Some of the gold and silver pigment, they don't move as well, and that's understandable, because they're not truly well, I guess you can call them watercolor, but they might be just, okay? You can see that actually goes together. It's very pretty. And I really wanted to try this champagne color, which they call the moon gold. And so I'm going to pick up some of those using the same brush. The moon gold. Yeah, we're doing that. Okay, more moon gold, please. Yep, very, very nice, okay? Very, very nice. So both the silver and gold with the yellow, it works. Now green, sap green is a very friendly color, and I think that, you know, with the silver and gold, they will be doing just fine. Okay, so let's use this palette and do the 24 on the sap green, okay? 24, they call it the 24 karat gold. 24 mer gold. Okay, so on the sap green, very, very nice. Very, very nice color. Okay, I hope you guys can see. I really, really hope, because I have all the light shining down here as much as I could that I have with the sunlight. And so I hope that this will. And then we can try, you know, if you're going to get this palette, okay, why don't we try their classical gold, okay? They call it the classic gold. And you can see how little of pigment that I pick up, right? So a tin of this, I don't remember how much this one cost, maybe 10 bucks. And put some over this side. Very nice. Sap green is very, very friendly color. And I'm sure if I put silver on it, it'll be just fine, okay? Now let's try the green gold. And so now this one, I'm going to try to use the bronze. Good color. Okay, so now we can see much of the green combination is doing very well, okay? And so yellow ochre, we're not going to, well, let's just put this bronze on here, okay? Really, really fast, because I'm kind of pushing for time. Okay, you can see how beautiful that, you know, so your painting will sparkle. Okay, connected burnt orange, I'm actually going to try the copper on it. You know, this copper color is actually kind of fun. You know, Kuretake also have one. It might be a couple $1 more, but they are all about the same. So just whatever you can find. I don't know if they're still selling this one. So when I go put the link on, see how much it brightened the burnt orange, okay? Now, I'm not going to do a lot of the, these are just for practice, right? So I'm just going to put some silver on this 1, 2, 3, 3, okay? And with magenta, I'm going to try maybe with the gold, okay? So we're going to take a bunch of silver and just go through these 3 really fast. And one thing that I really wanted you guys to know is the reason why, now this is just the silver, okay, on these 3, that I was gone for so long, you know, is because I actually had to have 3 surgery. They keep finding more and more problem. You know, they say the margin, you know, and so they keep, you know, so I have to, you know, keep recovering and then go into surgery again. And that is one of the things that I wanted to tell you guys, not because I didn't want to or didn't like, you know, to do watercolor. It's just because I was one surgery after another that was very, very hard that I went through. But hopefully we will see, okay? So in December, I'll be able to, you know, get another MRI. And then now you see how the quinacridone violet and the silver look so good together. It's almost feel like Christmas or royalty to me. Now with magenta, I know that it will look very, very good with the silver. But let's try some gold color. Let's try some, this one, they call it the light gold. In this palette, they call it the light gold. We're going to just put that in there and see if, oh my gosh, it is very pretty. I almost actually get the magenta to turn 4 color right there in front of your eyes. Okay, and then let's do the, what do they call this? What gold? Yellow gold, okay? Yellow gold, yellow and magenta. Let's see if it will go together, okay? Same. Okay, so paint color actually go good with gold too. At least I think that it looked very good. You guys can decide, okay, for yourself if you know, and try and tell me. Okay, cadmium red medium. Okay, because we haven't done the red. Let's get this one. I'm very curious about this champagne gold, which is what they call moon gold. How does it, okay, it goes perfect. Okay, the moon gold is actually really, really neutral, okay? So I think that it will go with almost any color. The moon gold right here, okay? So of course, red and gold actually go together. So let's see if red and, okay, let's just put the light gold, okay? Light gold on here. Very good. I love it. I love it. Okay, now let's go into the burnt umber. Okay, let's do the light gold and the silver and see how gold and silver do with a brown color, okay? I know that the light, wow. It is beautiful. Okay, it just really is beautiful. I would use it on the highlight of a branch if I'm doing you know, now silver. If I'm doing if I'm trying to do a branch, okay, and that works perfect too. Okay, I hope this is like you know, helping, because I'm really trying to help, right? And so burns, no, this is cadmium yellow medium plus, is it burnt sienna? Oh no, this is when I was trying to put the yellow medium plus the cadmium red medium to make orange, because this is like my usual orange color. Okay, so I'll correct this and then I'll take a shot of the picture for you guys. Okay, so let's put the copper color on it, because I know that copper and the orange should go really well together. Yes, it does. Okay. Okay, I know all these color will look great with the silver. And how about try the burnt sienna and Lycerine crimson? Okay, because that's kind of red. So I know that the copper will look good, but let's put light yellow, light gold on it. Okay, it doesn't have that much of an impact, but I still think that it looks good. Okay, let's try silver then. Okay, on the other side, because that's counterintuitive, right? We don't usually put silver with things like that. Wow, it looks awesome. Okay, now with Paynes gray, I know that the silver will look good with the Paynes gray, and so let's do a regular gold color. Let's do the, what is this, the yellow gold. Okay, I bet it will be awesome. Yep, and it is. And it is. And this brush is also awesome too. Okay, it actually is quite soft, but it does have strength, you know, and you guys don't have to worry about ruining the brush, okay? Because that's how good, you know, these brushes are. It does have some strength, but it's very soft too. Okay, now, and I did tell you guys that I'm going to, if I have time, then let's do the black. Let's do the black first, okay? The black color first. Let's put a little piece of paper so that it won't. Okay, let's do the black color first, and just should we quickly? Yeah, let's quickly go through all of them, and you guys can tell me how you you know, how you like it. Okay, now we haven't used this brush. That's from the expensive Kolinsky brush from England. Okay, so we're gonna use it. Okay, so we're gonna do copper first, and I'm not going to give my opinion. You guys can look at it and see how you like it. Okay, that's with copper on black, and this is rose gold. Okay, this is Kolinsky skateboard is quite strong. Okay, it's not as soft as the, you know, so you can just like kind of dig in, because these micros are hard to dig in. Okay, and then this one is bronze. Ooh, bronze is really bright. Bronze. Okay, bronze color. Guys, can you guys see all these? Oh, I hope you can. And then yellow gold. You know, to me, you know, in person, I can see very well. Okay, and this is light gold. Light gold. It's almost, you know, kind of lost in there. Just give it a little bit of a shimmer, and then we're gonna do silver. Black and silver, I know that it will look very good. Okay, need to put a little bit more. Okay, and so that's that. And so what we're gonna do is, I'm not going to try the other one because it's kind of hard to see, and so we're gonna use some of the brushes and do a practice of you know, a part of a sunflower. Okay, so so that, you know, it will be just kind of fun, because, you know, this is also something that I like to practice too. Okay, the heart shape, the center shape of the sunflower, and I'm just, you know, I'm not thinking too much. I'm just gonna try. I'm getting a lot of sunflower to plant outside, so I hope that I'm not always talking about sunflower. I just really like sunflower, right? Of course, sunflower is not one layer. It probably should be two layer, but you know, for our purpose of practice, you know, so the petal of the sunflower is just like a leaf, right? So we're just gonna do just that much, okay? So that you guys can have fun with me on that. And you know, so this is not really about the gold and color anymore. This is actually, oh, I can actually open it up a little bit. Okay, now, so in the middle, so let's use the Kolinsky brush because we haven't used that a lot, okay? And so we're gonna, so what we used to do with our practice or the other sunflower is I'm gonna do the reverse order. I'm going to put some burnt umber on it first, okay? Okay, burnt umber as if the sun is coming from this direction. Okay, so you can see that, you know, this brush does well, but you know, it's more expensive. And if I, you know, if I need to have more a point, I will have to flatten it myself during the process of cleaning, okay? This is what I mean. You know, I will flatten it. And then I clean the brush and I pull the color out, okay? So that's my burnt umber. Because where the place the sun kiss it, we're just gonna let it, you know, be lighter, okay? Now, so we're gonna let that dry. And so now let's use our happy dot first, okay? You know, because we're doing the brushes, right? So I can, you know, show you guys how, you know, how well they work. They actually all work very well. You know, there was, you know, just the newer brush had just one shed of one hair. You know, because when the artists are doing these, they put glue down here, right? It's hard to catch everyone. But with the Oriental brush, I wanted you to know that they actually do not shave the side of the brush like that. I know that with some Western brush they do that. With Oriental brush they actually pull the shorter one back so it's fuller down here and more tip right here, and so everything is the tip of the animal hair, and all these are not synthetic, okay? So this is the difference, okay? And this flare out sometime when it's getting dry, but you know, keep your brush wet, right? So if your brush is always wet, you can see that how it flares out a little bit over here, okay? I just really wanted the light to be bright on this, okay? So let's use what did I say? Let's use the happy dot, okay? The happy dot. And get some, what color should we get? Let's get cadmium yellow light, okay? Cadmium yellow light first, okay? And this is just a very quick very quick sketch, okay? So I'm not really thinking too much. You know, this is like a practice, right? Like a practice. Now, you have these lines here, and the way we get rid of it is to use the background. The background, if you use darker color or just a green color, then the pencil, did I say light? Then the pencil mark will be gone, right? And so sometimes you guys send me paintings, and sometimes I see that you guys, now cadmium yellow medium, that you guys do not do backgrounds. I wonder why, you know, but you know, background is actually very useful in art. So I encourage you that if you have time, you wanted to, you know, make the painting more finished, you know, do some background, okay? Now, at this point, usually I would just wait, but since we're just having fun practicing, I will put some quinacridone burnt orange right here. And suddenly with the burnt orange, you know, you can see that I don't mix color anywhere, right? I just mix it, let them mix it on the paper by themselves, and I try not to touch them as much as possible too. Now, when these three color that is here marinating, I call it marinating, when they're all dry, then we will go in and you can actually put some burnt umber there. that is, you know, because there's no pressure when you are doing this, okay? We're just having fun. And so we don't really, you know, want it to, you know, whatever happened there, if you don't like it, so it's a practice piece of paper, right? We don't care. Okay, I'm doing the same thing, picking up some cadmium yellow light. Okay, and so we're saying the sun come here, so we can let it has more highlight over this area. We can pull the color out, or we don't have to. You know, it's up to you to pull the color out. Just a little bit, you see how little, right? And so I'm going in the cadmium yellow medium and mix. Okay, so now it become a more vibrant kind of sunflower color. Okay, and while this is still wet, usually I would actually let it dry before I put in the burnt orange, but you know, in the lack of time here, and we're just, you know, trying to have fun with color, then we do that. Okay, and so we're almost done. You know, at least I wanted to. Now if you use the other color, let's go back to Kolinsky. The reason why is okay, we'll make a boo-boo, kind of like a practice making a mistake. Okay, now this is quite a big piece of sunflower that we're doing here. Okay, now I'm going to use this red brush. It's kind of small. Okay, so I need to make sure that I pick up a little more pigment. Okay, now because there's not a lot of belly, you can see that the pigment, or I can feel it, I don't know if you can see it, that the pigment are running out. Okay, now because sun come here, so the highlight go there. Okay, so the sun is you know, and so now we're gonna get to the medium. Okay, now, and if you're not careful with picking more pigment or consciously with small brush, then you will kind of drag it. Okay, but it's not a big deal. I see that even very, very seasoned watercolorists do that. They use small brush for big painting. Okay, and now is the quinacridone burnt orange. Okay, you see that? Quite nice, right? And then I let the color mix over there by themselves. Now we are going to use the rosemary and coal, you know, because I have it. And then what we're gonna do is just put some violet color in it. Let's use the blue violet, okay? Because I always do that. That's something I made up, and it make the yellow look really good. Okay, dioxazine purple, I call it violet. Okay, now because there's a layer already in here, okay, I'm going to put this on top. It's better when you do it when it is dry, because, you know, a layer on top is much better when those two pigment actually mix when they're wet. Okay, so why do I do that? Is because this purple will let the yellow brighten. Okay, so I'm talking about my theory of because they are complementary color. Okay. Okay, very nice, right? So the center suddenly become very, very bright. Now, so we will, okay, now these colors are done. So let me just emphasize the background, okay? Now, with this little area, you know, with a big brush like this, I will put the length. Actually, there's 3 brush come of it. This one, and this is the medium size, so it's even bigger. This is small size, and then there's another big one, which is downstairs. Actually, I just kind of tried to clean it last night, and so I don't need to use that because that one is huge. Now, when we, you know, you can shape this, okay? You can shape it while you're cleaning, you know, to go into this area, or you can change into a sharper point, okay? Now, because earlier I was just trying to tell you guys that if you, that it is kind of, you know, nice and pleasing that we do. So let's go into the indigo, okay? Pick up some that we do the background, okay? So I'm going to use some of the indigo, and then I flatten it, right? I'm going to try to get to the, make sure that I don't have a little white line. Okay. And this is if I'm not in a hurry when I'm doing a video. Now you can see that the pencil mark is gone when you do that, right? And so now it's a clean brush. I shape it too on my towels and I pull the color out, okay? I pull the color out. Pull it out. And now you can see that there's a little hair, you know, and I don't really care because I know that after all the hair are gone, then, you know, this would be an excellent brush, okay? Now, I will drop in some sap green on this area. Drop in some sap green. Okay? Isn't that pretty? It brings out the color. As artists, we always use the background to help us. Now, sometimes I will even pull the sap green into here, into the flower, in the highlight area. Okay? So it makes that. Now, if there's a little line here, and what you can do is when it's dry, now because I have a little wetness over here, I wouldn't go put a darker color, but we can. And so we use the background a lot. And so you need to not be afraid, okay? Just try it. Just try it if you want, okay? Let's put some cadmium, yellow medium. You know, it's just very nice compared with no background. With background, it's my humble opinion. I really think that it is necessary, okay? And so I hope that you guys will try that. And so like now I just have another minute. I flatten the brush, right? You see how it's flat? And I turn it to the side so it become a point. Because I don't want to, oh, I was trying to pick up the prylene green. I don't want to change brush right now because I am very, very focused, okay? And so I use the flat side. I could change brush, actually. It might be a good thing that I do, but so having a, you know, pointed brush is actually quite important to me so that I can focus and do what I want and I can achieve the effect. Now, because there's indigo here, there should be some indigo there. So that's just my OCD. Then we drop that in and it will be fine, okay? You see that? And so I really think that, you know, just a tip, you know, with our tutorial or practice today, you know, that, you know, we can have time and we'll practice the, you know, the background and look at how I abuse my brush. But the nice things about this hair is like the natural hair, you know, we can clip our hair up and it will go back to its original shape. It won't fight with us too much, okay? And then we can put some yellow here, you know. I love background. I just love background. So I hope this has been a fun tutorial and also, you know, get you guys used to, not used to, get you guys see me practicing with all these brush that I have lately, you know. You know, you don't need to get the rosemary and gold and coal, you know. Like you can see that how it flare out, and these oriental brush, even when they're drying, they don't flare very much. And this are my old one, okay, the one, you know, this when it's dry, it looks like that. It's perfect, okay. Now I will, like, since we're here, I will show you, okay. This is the flow brush. You need to go to Oriental Art Supply, and I think this is either 20-some or 30-some dollar. Okay, there's two kind of animal in here, okay? So I don't really know. And then you shape it and it doesn't, you know, so I actually see people review in Amazon and they're talking about, they show people, oh, this brush is useless because it looked like this. But you know what? As soon as you wet it, it's fine. Okay, so sometimes people do things like that, and I think it's unfair to the brush. Since we love brushes so much, you know, we just shout out to them, okay? Don't worry about them flaring out when they're dry, okay? They're just fine when they are, okay, I'm losing my voice when they are wet, okay? And so, like, you can see that how beautiful, right? Like I say, I'm just going to do a partial, you know, so that you know what I do. Sometimes when I practice, I will draw a little bit of something, and then I will say, wow, you know, this is the background. like I discovered that, wow, put a little bit of purple in the middle really are nice. And so thank you very much for practicing with me. I will try to put all the link in the description so that you guys can go click on it, and you'll be so surprised at how reasonable the prices are. And these, when you practice, when you do your practice, you actually will get used to the water, the pigment, and the brushes and the paper, and those are all very, very, very important part of your enjoyment and your progress in your watercolor. And so we will just stop at this, and thank you for listening to me, and we will see you in the next one. I have a lot of painting lined up, and wish me, pray for me, and hope that I have good health, and I wish you guys all have good health, and pray for you too. Thank you. Bye bye.